years, director James Ivory and producer Ismail Merchant made a series of films that you could simply describe as being Merchant Ivory, and everyone would know exactly what you meant. One of their undeniable masterpieces is Howard's End. That Oscar winner about the injustices of the English class system was based on the 1910 novel by E.M. Forster. Howard's End also was an award winner here in Cannes, and a newly restored version is being screened in the Cannes Classics selection. I met up with director James Ivory and star and acting legend Vanessa Redgrave.
Bye.
Oh, Charlie, wait!
What?
It's not for there. Wait a minute. We've got some cherries.
Vanessa Redgrave and James Ivory, hello. It's such a pleasure to meet both of you. Vanessa, this film was made almost 25 years ago. I know it's a long time.
25?
Next year, 25.
Oh, wow.
What sticks out in your mind the most? What's your favorite memory of that time?
Well, I came to Cannes before then. I got two
Best Actress Awards.
Best Actresses. I came to Cannes first with Antonioni. But I will never forget, and I'm really thrilled that Howard's End is being shown, because I loved making the film. We were all there, all of us, Jim with Ismail and Emma, and James Wilby was with us, and Tony
came when he learned which was the right airport in Berlin.
That's right.
Tony, of course, Anthony Hopkins.
He missed his first flight because he couldn't remember which, or they told him to, you know.
All the usual.
Anyway, he got here, so.
It was a very wonderful time. I said to James Wilby, I said, don't forget this, just enjoy every minute, because it doesn't often happen that you're very happy to be where you are in the film world, you know.
It's so true.
That's true. James, you mentioned Tony, Sir Anthony Hopkins. I heard that when you were trying to cast him for the part in Howard's End, you had a bit of an unusual way of getting him the script. Can you tell me about that?
Well, yes, because through a sound, I think a sound editor of his, who was working, we were editing another film, Mr. and Mrs. Bridge. We were in the next editing room, and I learned that the sound editor on his film was, they were putting it together.
The Silence of the Lambs.
It was The Silence of the Lambs, right? We passed it to him through that guy.
Now, this film was such a huge success. 9 Oscar nominations, Best Supporting Actress for you, Best Director for you, 3 wins. One of those wins was for Emma Thompson, who you mentioned. James, was she your first choice for that part of Margaret Schlegel?
Absolutely. Yeah. She was wonderfully easy to be with because she's sane.
Not a lot of actresses are sane.
She's not crazy, and she also has a great sense of humor. She's immensely talented, of course, and fun to be with.
Now, Vanessa, you're one of the few actresses in history, I think there's just about 12 of you, to have won what's called the Triple Crown of acting, an Oscar, an Emmy, and a Tony. As you mentioned, you got those 2 Best Actress Awards here in Cannes. Are those awards important to you now, looking back?
I don't want to get complicated about it. It's always terrific, like in the case of Howard's End, when a film, the film you're in, gets the recognition you think it deserves. And if that includes an extra little puppet.
Why not?
Why not? How lovely.
James, you and your producing partner, Ismail Merchant, worked together for some 4 decades until his death in 2005, which I think is unheard of in Hollywood. You made so many great films in addition to Howard's End, Remains of the Day, A Room with the View. What was it about Merchant Ivory that worked?
Well, I think the 3 of us, including Ruth Jambala, our screenwriter, we had a respect for each other's work and each other's particular kind of thing we had to do. It was a bit like the United States government. I was the president, Ismail was Congress, and Ruth was the Supreme Court. And there was a kind of balance.
Vanessa, you're from such a great acting family, everyone, your parents, siblings, children. Why do you think you have such this wealth of talent in your family, and do you have a favorite memory of working with one particular family member?
My father, it was very hard working with my father. He was very severe and very demanding. As Sarah Bernhardt said, people had to be. I very often wished I was a million miles away. He was so difficult to work with because he was very demanding and merciless as far as pointing out this, that and the other. But of course that meant I learnt a lot. So while I squirmed and took deep breaths and rang my mother and said, come for a walk in the park, I just can't take it anymore. I know what I'm grateful for. That doesn't mean I didn't love him.
James, do you feel that when we watch Howard's End, for many people, it's such a classic, but for you as the director, is there something when you watch it that makes you go, that was a goof, or I wish I had done that differently?
That's true of every film.
So give me an example in Howard's End.
That I don't feel that in. But at the same time, there are moments coming up that I look forward to, which I really like, and I sometimes think to myself, well, I did that. Nobody else did it. I did it.
I love it, sir.
I could simply scratch that woman's eyes out.
It's taking my mother's place. The idea.
When do you want to marry me?
How you do fly around? My head's in the world. Let's dance!
Just to wrap up, you've been coming to Cannes for decades. Vanessa, as you said, you won 2 Best Actress awards here. Howard's End was in the official selection. It won the 45th anniversary award. What's the biggest difference? Is there one, or is it the same?
It is an extraordinary collection, a world collection of weird casual dress. I have never seen such a collection of clothes on the people. It wasn't really, it was more formal when we started out. It really was.
I regret the days when concrete wasn't spreading everywhere. I regret the days when there were no huge yachts, when there were no 1,000 people out in the bay going to and fro, to and fro. The important thing is always about the film, and there are a lot of people who really love film. I'm amazed how many there are, actually.
All right, Vanessa Redgrave and James Ivory, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.